Hi guys, this is Julia for Ways to Wonder with another episode of Traveling in Times of Corona. Today I will be interviewing Fred from France. He is a Couchsurfing ambassador, very passionate about the project, and has been traveling with Couchsurfing even in times of Corona. I am super excited to hear more about his experiences, so let's call him. Hi, Fred. Thank you so much for jumping on this Skype call with me. You have contacted me on Couchsurfing and have expressed your interest to do this interview with me. So please tell me a little bit about yourself.
Hello everyone. My name is Fred. I am 38 years old and I'm from France. And I have been a member of Couchsurfing from almost the beginning. And I became an ambassador from 2007. I have traveled a lot around the world, not necessarily to many countries. I was in 70 countries only. I have friends, they have been all over the world in more than 150 countries. So I didn't go to many countries, but I lived an average of 10 months in 12 countries. That's a different project. I was trying to live different lives and trying to understand different cultures in different continents. And of course, Couchsurfing helping me on the way. So I was surfing more than 1,000 nights at 300 people's home in more than 50 countries.
Oh,
And
wow.
in the 10 countries I have lived, I try to host as much as I could as well, because when so many people host you, of course you want to give back. When you receive hospitality and help, you always want to help back. So I also hosted about um, 300 people
Wow.
in all the countries I have lived. So I was, for instance, in 2018, I was hosting 100 people in Prague for 10 months.
And where are you at the moment?
I am back to my parents' home because there is confinement in France. So I decided to spend the confinement with my parents because I had a job before the COVID in Paris. And I didn't have the job anymore last May. I lost the job because I was working in tourism. So because I lost the job, I was traveling around France and Spain and Andorra. I did 1 month of couchsurfing, 30 nights, so 1 month at with 15 people. So that's pretty good because we know that the couchsurfing website is more complicated now because many people are not active, and with the situation with the pandemic, it's very hard to find people. But my goal is to reactivate members. It's been a few years now that my goal is to reactivate members. For instance, last year I went to Guadeloupe,
Mhm.
and it was a challenge for me. I had 10 nights, so I decided to find 10 hosts for 10 nights. And I succeeded. I was in Guadeloupe. It was very hard. I am lucky because I can send as many messages as I can. So I went to Guadeloupe. I hired a car, and I knew pretty much my plan. I put stars on Google Maps, so I follow my stars on Google Maps, and I was sending my request, and the 10 people that accepted me, I was telling them, okay, I will arrive about this time, and it worked this way. I was hosted 10 nights with by 10 different hosts.
Oh, that's great. So when Where have you been when you first heard about Corona?
Um, I was hosting a little bit in Paris. I was in Paris. I had my regular job. I was working from home. I was managing a tourism company back in March, and I was also hosting some people in March, just before or during the COVID, the pandemic. And I was in Paris, and my clients, they are mostly from America. So of course, when the flights stopped, it was a problem. I spent the month of April canceling all the bookings for all the customers coming to France. And in May, I didn't have the job anymore because there was no point to work. Everything was cancelled. All the countries were in lockdown, so I couldn't work anymore. And I decided to stay in Paris. There was the confinement. It was the first confinement, so I stayed in Paris, and um, I was focusing more on my life, like everyone, because I think many people, I think this year, focus much more on their lives due to this pandemic, staying at home, and yeah.
And having to deal with oneself.
Yeah, exactly. And I was working very much during the past 2 years, and I really wanted to travel again during the summer. So I decided at some point, okay, I will travel. And when the first confinement was over, actually, it took me some time to leave because I really like my place. I left my apartment in Paris at the beginning December, so not too long ago. But I really like my apartment. It was not in Paris, a little bit south, so very quiet, very nice place. But I left all the months of August, September, and October. I was traveling all around, mostly the south of France. You know, swimming around the lakes and the rivers and forest and mountains and yeah, it was a long time. I didn't have long holidays, so I was just using my car and driving around.
Enjoying the time that you had due to COVID, and it kind of cost you your job, right? It cost you your job, but it gave you some amount of freedom and to enjoy your time.
Yeah. Well, I am used to change environments and change job. I work in tourism. I am kind of a seasonal worker, so every 6 months I change job. I never had a job in my life more than 10 months, and I am 38 years old, and I'm perfectly fine with that. In tourism there is always a job anywhere. I can search a job anywhere in the world. I speak Spanish, so it's easy for me to find a job. I can apply anywhere in the world, and according to where I want to go. So I was 2 years in Australia and New Zealand, and I was working there for 2 years. Yeah, I was also in Czech Republic working for the airline company Air France. So it's I was 2 years in Spain. So yeah, it's always possible to find a way to follow our dreams. And
So when did you first realize the impact that COVID had on the world? When you lost your job, no?
yeah, well, with all the cancellations, even the news on TV. I mean, the news on TV at the very beginning, I was for the mask because with the virus in France in March, they forbid French people to wear mask, and later on they said, okay, we can wear mask. But my feeling was the other way around. My feeling was, okay, we needed mask in March and April, and then we don't need it anymore because the big of the pandemic was over. But well, the French government always somehow do everything upside down.
Okay.
So, at the beginning, I was a bit freaking out, like everyone, because
That's when you really like realized the impact that COVID had. But you did not have any travel plans before Corona, right? You just decided to travel because Corona affected you and you lost your job.
I really, well, I was working a lot and I didn't know I would lose my job. And at some point I knew I wanted to travel. At the beginning, I wanted to go to Martinique. So the other French Caribbean island.
I spent a lot of time there. I love Martinique. It's a really beautiful.
Really, you spend a lot. Oh, okay. Well, I didn't go to Martinique because with the COVID thing, I didn't want to have a test because I don't believe all these things and I don't want them to touch my body because I don't I don't have trust in this. I trust nature. I trust when I'm sick, I go to rest. I drink tea with honey and ginger and lemon, and I rest and then I am recovered. I don't really use medicine or things, and I didn't want them to do any test on, so I didn't want to take any flight. So I told myself, okay, I don't take any flight and I will do domestic travel. So I just took my car and I traveled domestically in France and August and September I was mostly sleeping in the nature with my tent. I really like to sleep in nature. I feel one with nature. You know, during the day there is the sun and I am very active, and during the night I am tired from my day and I sleep in my tent, in the nature, in the woods, and I feel very good. And, fresh air, I like it. And all October was too cold in the mountains, in the Pyrenees mountains. Well, I was almost all the months of October I was using Couchsurfing, and sometimes it was friends because I had a few friends there, and I used a few times Be Welcome as well.
Mm-hmm.
So you have two other websites that work a little bit, is Be Welcome and Trust Roots, but very, very, very few members. But more members now. More members now because many people cannot access their Couchsurfing profile anymore. So some people they know there is this alternative, so they go there, but it's still very limited. And Couchsurfing has way more people. I think Be Welcome is not even 1 million, and Couchsurfing is more than 15 million. But 15 million means nothing because 95% of the people are inactive. And when I send, for instance, in Guadeloupe, I send 500 messages, and maybe I receive, I don't know, 30, 40 answers. So
But you did travel with Couchsurfing in the time of Corona or like in these months of summer and later on in October, right? And how did you experience the social interactions while traveling in this time?
no difference. I mean, when I stayed at people's home, never wearing mask, people are not afraid about it. Well, it was beginning in March, so now the people figured out that it's not necessarily so deadly and stuff. Maybe the weak people have to be careful. You know, the children, the pregnant women, and the older people. But generally, all the people have been very nice and no fear at all about this, and only the rules of the country. So when entering supermarkets, restaurants, museums, things like this, we have to follow the rules and wear masks. But even this, I don't like wearing a mask because I think it creates breathing problems. So I just wear my mask under my nose, and if somebody tell me something, I say, "Oh, okay, sorry." I pretend I don't know, and I put my mask back in the nose, and then when the person is away, I put my mask back because this is my body. Nobody can tell me what to do with my body. That's my responsibility, and the people telling that I am not responsible of the other people is false. Is just to make us accountable. But no, this is wrong. This is a way to make us responsible. But no, I am responsible of myself. Then if there is someone next to me who wants me wear a mask and I don't wear a mask, then he can leave or I leave. That's it. There is, of course, when we are inside somewhere, like inside a plane, is different. Of course, I understand this inside a plane, safety must be like 100%. So that's probably one of the reason I was avoiding all those kind of situations. Even supermarkets, I prefer to go to a little store over the summer rather than a big supermarket where there is the the security checking on the camera and yeah.
So, do you have any further travel plans?
At the moment, no, because I wait for the storm to get away. For now, I think there is a big movements in the world happening. Macron today had the COVID or yesterday. So he's in confinement for 1 week.
Okay.
I think we don't have the confinement anymore during the day, and we don't need to fill up a paper during the day since December 15th. But we still have the curfew every night from 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. We have curfew, so we are not allowed. We are not supposed to be outside. So I follow this part and. No, I don't really have travel plans for now. I prefer to keep safe and secure with my parents. Also because well, it's important for me to be with my parents now. And I think from next spring, I will decide something. I think next spring everything will be kind of back to normal. So I will decide something. Probably going back to the south of France. Maybe looking for a job, but not necessarily because I have worked a lot. So in France we have some money from the government. I think they call it the allowance, monthly allowance when we are unemployed. And I have worked a long time for 2 years since I'm back from Prague because I was in Prague in 2018. I was working from January 2019. So now the government sent me money for two years.
Okay.
So I don't necessarily need to work, and I don't necessarily want to work in this situation wear a mask in an office and taking transportation and having the risk for people to check. There is a lot of control now in France, so no, in winter I prefer to be here, and I will see next spring. Now I focus on myself and trying to enhance myself with my body and my knowledge. I learn a lot of things, and that's it.
Well, that's good. It's good to use the time for oneself and to do something out of it. So, do you have any social media handles that people can follow your journey and can learn more about you?
I'm very bad at this. I think the best is to go to my Couchsurfing profile because I have many references and on the Couchsurfing profile. But they can send me a message if they want through my Couchsurfing profile. Then I think there is no point to give my Instagram. If people want to know my story and want to see pictures, somehow they have to meet me.
Well, that's a good thing.
And actually, I was an ambassador from 2007, but I was not like other ambassadors because all the world of all the Couchsurfing ambassadors they used to meet before. They were meeting through collectives. Actually, I was not an ambassador of a specific place. I am a nomadic ambassador, which means every place I go and every place I travel or every place I live, I try to enhance the local community. So, for instance, I was living in Réunion Island, next to Madagascar. I was studying tourism there, and the community there was inactive. And I think it became the fifth most active community 8 months later in Africa. In Africa.
Well, you did have a big impact there.
Yeah. I try to have a little impact. So trying to do a little bit of everything to get hosted, to to host people, but also to create lots of travels. So this is what I was doing in Réunion Island. I was every weekend I was organizing trips to the mountains, and the group was growing, and then every weekend there was 25 people hiking together.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, that's a great project. So, is there anything you would like people to know about couch surfing and in times of corona and in this kind of times?
When you go with your passion and motivation, you can do everything. Many friends stopped couchsurfing back in 2012 because it went from an NGO organization to a for-profit organization. I understand them leaving and letting only one picture and leaving the project, but come on, it's not like Facebook. Many people are on Facebook, and they really sell the data on Facebook. But Couchsurfing, even if they take some money off us, come on, the mission, it's really amazing. That's the biggest website for hospitality and helping each other, especially travelers, but not only. We can learn everything with Couchsurfing. We can learn how to play an instrument. We can learn languages. We can learn sports. I learned Chinese with Couchsurfing. I learned canyoning, which is rappelling, descending all the waterfalls.
Mm-hmm.
Alpinism. I did alpinism. I Lots of cooking. We can share everything with Couchsurfing. I think we should take care of this project, and I don't like people saying no, the project is dead. If you don't try, you don't succeed. A few months ago, I was contacting many people, and it worked. The only way, if you have the passion and the motivation, it will work. But of course, if you send a copy paste message, it's not gonna work. It's important to read the profiles and at least to put a few sentences of personalized. When people receive a message, they feel if we want to meet someone or not. So and if they have to pay.
Well, I am indeed a big fan of couch surfing. I have met amazing people through the platform, and I'm definitely have no problem paying the price of a sandwich to keep up my profile because it just enables me to do so many things and to meet so many awesome people. So
Yeah, and if we are talking about 20-30 euro, it's nothing, because maybe you can be hosted in a big city where it's expensive, and if you stay maybe with three hosts for 3 nights, it's almost 10 days. How much would you pay somewhere else? So, and yeah, that's like this. But okay, if you don't like to pay, you have other websites, so there is always a solution. And I think is amazing to have a project where we don't have to use money, because we know that this world is sick because of the money system. And on me, it's a very long time that I don't like this system. So couchsurfing is a way for me to escape the society, and to enter my the way I see the society is a way where we don't use money and we exchange everything and there is no money involved. Of course, we bring a gift and someone hosts us. So it's like an exchange, and there is some money involved inside. But it's such a great feeling that we don't talk about money. Money is the problem in this world. If there was no money, we could focus so much more on all the rest. Because of course with money we need to work, and already working it's half our time and energy, and we don't have the time to live the way we want. We don't have the time to think. We don't have the time to have the energy to think about our dreams. So we need to escape this world where we only think about money and working. This is not the life. This is just a way to survive. So I have always used the working and money to survive. Not working so much, only 6 months a year. I work 6 months a year. I take a lot of money for 6 months, and I save a lot, like 95%. And then I have 6 months to travel, and everybody can do this. There is nothing special about me doing this. Everybody can do it, but it has to be a motivation. And something else I don't like is negativity. We have to be positive. Everywhere in the society, everywhere in a specific company or country, you will find a little amount of bad people using the system. But most of the people that are on Couchsurfing, they are nice people. Of course, the new generation, the young people, they want to travel very much because they see Instagram and all the traveling picture. They want to travel very much, and they see that it's possible to travel for free with Couchsurfing. So maybe they get into the project too much like this, and they yeah, can you ask me? Can you just one sentence? They arrive on Couchsurfing, but they don't know the deep purpose of it. The deep purpose is really to one community sharing together. We need, when we are hosted with someone, it's important to take time to share with the other person. Many 80% of the people I meet, they become friends. They are not. I like to keep in touch. I don't mean I keep in touch with everyone, but to feel like we are part of a community, and yeah, to bring positive attitude.
Yeah, I can see you're very passionate about couch surfing and the project. And thank you so much for sharing all your insights and sharing your experiences with me. Like, we sadly have to come to an end of this interview, but I really enjoyed talking to you, and I think it's very important to get the message out that couch surfing is a great project and has so many positive possibilities for all of us. And I am sure you're going to keep on being passionate about it.
The world is not about working on money. It's about sharing together, and with positive attitude. And everyone has knowledge. Even someone who is very poor can bring you so much.
Yeah, I totally agree. Thank you so much, Fred. Thank you so much for talking to me. We're gonna keep in touch, and until next time.
Okay, thank you. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Please leave a like and subscribe, and hopefully see you next time.